Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Germana and today I have a very special guest with me. She's Markhabat. She will tell us a lot of interesting things about living in Italy, her experience here in Rome especially. So I'm very excited to introduce to you this beautiful lady here. Hello Markhabat, how are you?
Hello, I'm pretty good and happy to have you in my dormitory room in Rome.
Yeah, guys, exactly. We are exactly where Markhabat lives here in Rome, a dormitory, as she said. We are close to the center, not that far away, and she will tell us a little bit about her life here. So please tell me about yourself in general. Tell us about a little bit about your academic background, your personal life here.
So, hello everyone, my name is Markhabat. For some of foreigners, it's not easy to pronounce my name in Italy especially. So I introduce myself mostly like Marta. So yeah, you can call me Marta. So I came from Kazakhstan, was born in east of Kazakhstan as an English and French teacher in my home country. And here I am studying archaeology in Sapienza University in Rome. So I study, also work at the same time as a teacher of English. I teach English to my students from Kazakhstan, and the languages that I know are Kazakh, Russian, English, and a bit Italian. So a bit. I need the help of Germana.
I was sure you knew a little bit of Italian.
A little bit. Ciao.
Thanks a lot for being today with us. This is really a pleasure for me, guys. I'm very curious to know why you decided to move here in Italy and Rome especially. Why this choice? I mean, because you are from a very faraway country from here.
It was my last year in my bachelor degree in my home country, and I was searching for something new, and as always, social media. I was surfing the net, and I saw some girls studying in Italy, and they showed the sea. That was amazing. I was like, wow, is it possible to study there for Kazakh people? And there's a sea. That's beautiful. And I said, let me just ask from this girl. And I typed her, and she was suggesting some universities and the ways of coming to Italy. And I said, that's perfect. And I started preparing all the documentation and passed IELTS. And as I've said you, because of IELTS, I've met my boyfriend.
Wow.
So that was really amazing story about Italy. So I love Italy.
So it struck you in some ways, no? The country. I know that Italy sounds beautiful to a lot of foreigners because honestly, guys, I'm Italian, of course. I can say both bad and good things about this country, but of course I recognize the fact that Italy has beautiful landscapes, has good food, la dolce vita. Many people dream of these, and I perfectly see you, understand why you decided to move here. So you're studying at Sapienza University here. Guys, here in Rome we have many public universities. We have Sapienza, this is the first university here in Rome, and then we have Tor Vergata, the second university, and Roma 3, which means Rome the third, let's say. So it's the third university here. But then also there are other private universities you can look at if you want to study here. But these that I told you are the main ones. Markhabat is studying at Sapienza, and me myself have studied at Sapienza when I was studying for my bachelor's degree, and I know that Sapienza is huge, and I found very good the curriculum there, very interesting. So I have a little list of questions here for you today. Tell me how it used to be, for example, a day of your life in your country, and how is today your daily routine. Did something change? Because what really I find interesting is the fact that when a person moves to another country, it's not only the landscape, the place, the people that change, but your own habits. Also, initially, it's hard not to change the habits. So tell me how they are now and how they used to be in your country. There are some differences?
So, in my hometown, I was raised in a village in Kazakhstan. So, it was so little village. I was living there with my family. So, it was a bit boring. I just went to school, came back, did my homework. That's it. I even didn't go out a lot. So when I moved to the city in Kazakhstan, its name is Almaty. It's one of the biggest cities in Kazakhstan. So there was my routine, like seeing my friends, going to the university, but suddenly the quarantine started, so I needed just to stay at home to study and to work with my thesis and to start my documentation process to be prepared to come here. So it was again becoming boring. So coming here, it was exciting. At the beginning, I was used just to walk, and I used to say to my friends, Rome is like a museum. You just go out and you see a lot interesting things. Because in my home country, the architecture of the buildings are the same, I guess. The same. Before I was thinking that's beautiful, but now I'm not sure. So that's interesting here. So I started walking a lot, and a lot of my habits changed. Like I started yoga first time here. I actually did yoga in a park, Borghese. I started just to have pizza outside in a park and enjoy the nature. What else? I see my friends always, usually, and we hang out. And one more thing, I started tasting the wine before. I didn't used to.
And I guess also coffee.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I don't say that I've never drink coffee in my country, but commonly we drink tea with milk. But here I started drinking coffee with cafe. I met first time in my classes at university. It was like a Christian literature lesson. It was early morning. I was sleeping in the class, and I was thinking, am I going to be like that whole day, whole my classes? But when I was out, there's the coffee machines in Sapienza.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, for 50 cents. It costs just the espresso. So my boyfriend just gave it to me after the first lesson, and I just take it, and I was, wow, it was magical. Then whole day I was awakened. I was focused well. Because before I think I had some coffee, but it was kind of fake coffee. I've never believed that coffee can wake us. We were always drinking coffee, and I was telling, why it doesn't affect us? It's another thing. Yeah. So I fell in love with coffee in Italy.
Yeah, because coffee here, as she said, it's espresso, so it's very short and intense, and it really boosts your day, guys.
It's just this amount.
Yeah, it's just this amount. It's very short. You can have it at the counter at the bar, drinking, and then go for your day. And it's very different from the American one, which has a lot of water. And I see why you felt very awake after it. So that's so interesting. I can see that your life changed, but for the better here. Yeah. You want to do more things. You want to enjoy the day, because the environment is very important, guys. No, if you find the perfect place where you feel that it gives you like that electricity, it means that you're in the right place. place. Let's go ahead with the questions. I have a bunch, as I said, of questions for Markhabat today. I want to know something more about practical things here, like, do you find useful taking transportation? So you move by transportation usually here in Rome, or you prefer moving by taxi, or maybe you have your own car? What it's like moving here in Rome?
I would say the best way to move in Rome, it's the metro. I'm in love with metro because in my home country I have only one. We just took it just to take pictures. It was so short distance, but here when I take the metro A, it was wow, I can go everywhere.
Yeah, basically.
But about buses, it's a bit pity. You just have to wait
Ages.
yeah for ages. So because of that I had one experience. I worked as a teacher here, and I needed to go to my students' home, and I waited for bus. I don't know, half an hour, and I was late, of course.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. So from that moment I started hating buses in Italy.
So I perfectly understand that public transportation is an issue here, especially in Rome, because it's a huge city, but it's not well connected in all areas. Like the city center is pretty well, works well. We have metro A and B. But then there's the sea, which can take you even more farther away from the center, but it's not still connected to the center, so you can move maybe in the suburbs better, but not in the center. So what Markhabat basically, I guess, takes is metro A, and B.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you can take the metro because even I believe that it's better than the bus, but sometimes bus is like mandatory because there are areas that are not connected with metro neither. So it depends on the area. And my suggestion is to choose one in the center because of this. So you will find very easy to move, even by bike, guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken or rent a bike here?
No, never. But I just to taxi, but never bike. I think I find it tricky because of drivers in here.
It's true.
Not you, but generally.
But it can be perilous. It's true. You don't want to drive your bike in the main roads because there are some like tracks for bikes, but there are not that many. So you must go to specific places to ride a bike. So tell me 3 things you like about living here. And I want to know also 3 things that you don't like about living here.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Let's start from a good thing. So the first of all, I would like to mention university studies and professors. They are so kind. I love it. I've never had this kind of relationship with my professors in my home country. It's kind of distance and more strict. Sometimes they can make your self-esteem low.
Really?
Yeah, but here I was amazed when professors could just talk kindly and explain you well, and they are always asking to write them if we have questions, ask everything. So I love professors and studying here. I love it. It's the first thing. Second thing, I would say free water. Yeah.
Free water. It's true. There are many fountains. They are called nasoni, which means big noses, from the shape of the fountain. So you can have access to free water, especially in the center. You can just take your bottle and you fill in with the water, and it's for free. It's true. And the water in Rome, it's so good, I guess.
Yeah, it's so tasty. And you just can have bottle and you fill it, you drink whenever you want, wherever you want. That's so cool. Third thing about Italy that I like, of course, food. There are some places that I like eating pizza and pasta, especially the neighborhood. The pizzas are very well eaten. And gelato, of course, I love gelato here. I love especially the taste of yogurt, the flavor yogurt,
yeah.
and caramel, and sopa inglese.
We have. This is actually an English thing, but we call it zuppa inglese because of it's from England, and it's made of pan di Spagna. We call it. It's something that it's very soft. It has also cream. And it's so good. It tastes so good. It's so tasty. It's true. I love it.
It was always interesting to know the recipe of it. Thank you for explaining because it's really tasty. Okay, let's move on to the things that I don't like. So bureaucracy. Yeah, I had a lot of experience because of this. I was struggling here, had some issues, and still waiting for my ID.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
it takes so long time, even half years, 6 months. You just need to wait for your Italian ID card. Permesso, it's called, yeah, permesso di soggiorno.
Yeah.
So, and also in my home country, you just go to the machine and you enter your name, and they just in 1 second they just give you the card, bank card, and it has your name printed. And that was amazing for me. But here, but here I just needed to wait for my password for a week. So
Takes ages. Really, guys, this is an issue everyone experiences at some point if they move here. Because administration really it's a mess. This is one of those, it's true. Yeah. It's true, but even for Italians, even for me, if I have, for example, to renew my ID, it takes a little bit. And then it's very hard even because you are not used to where to ask for something here. Everything is new, so it's even more difficult now to understand what do I have to do. In some countries, everything works so smoothly. Every time I wonder why isn't it like this here. But it's true. But I hope that you will have your ID soon.
And the second thing that I don't like is trash. I didn't expect trash here. I was looking the pictures of Italy and there wasn't trash. I was
photoshopped.
I wasn't prepared to see that. A lot of tourists also said about trash. But at the beginning, I was thinking that why the authorities are not doing something. But I think it's because of tourists that are coming. And I guess the better solution would be a lot of trash cans in every street. And the little ones, because when I want to throw the trash, I cannot find. I should walk a lot to throw one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just prefer just to put in the street, and that's awful. But I see the people at night cleaning this, and after that, I was thinking that's fault of us just to throwing or putting the cans just in a street. So if you come to Italy, try to be respectful and to throw your trashes away in appropriate places, please.
I totally agree with you, but one thing that I noticed is that it's not the tourists the problem sometimes, it's the Italians because they don't respect their own place. This is something unacceptable because the fact that you respect your own place, for me, for you, I mean, it's important. So remember to always throw your stuff, your trash in the right place. Especially in the suburbs, you see really that places are not well cleaned and treated appropriately.
So the last thing that I was thinking to say only two things that I don't like, but I was noticing the temperature here. Do you feel that's cold? So the warming system.
Yeah.
It works. When you are in a flat, it works just some 5 hours and they turn off. And it's really cold in a winter to stay inside. I think I prefer outside to walk in a winter. Yeah.
But I guess this is you can find the two options. Let's say you can find an internal system which is for all the apartments in a building, for example, so you cannot decide on what time to turn it on. It's like automatically it goes for some time frames in the day, specific time frames usually at night or early in the morning. But then you can find your own system, and then in that case you can have your flat with an autonomous system. So you decide on the temperature if you want to turn it off or on. So here, for example, in the dormitory, you cannot decide on the time frame to turn on the temperature.
I'm not sure about the time. It will be on in the evening, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, next question for you is, this is so interesting because every time that some friends move here, I want to listen their version of this. Some cultural shocks that you had moving here, like that struck you. You find something very different from the way people, places you used to live in your country. Like, oh my gosh, I would never do this, but here they do like this. There's something that struck you in this way here in Italy.
I was kind of, wondered when the professors were just can be late for 15 minutes. But now it's okay. I prefer that.
Yeah, let's see. That's a good point, because Italians are famous, let's say, for being a little bit later than the schedule. But it depends. In the business area, you'll find very strict and precise people. It depends. I mean, but even myself this morning I arrived a little bit later than expected, but because of the traffic, especially if you live in huge towns, it's hard to arrive on time at some places. When I used to live in Modena in the north of Italy, I already told you something about this experience in other videos. I was living 10 minutes from the university, so I could really reach the university by foot easily, and really I had no excuses for arriving late by that time. But if you live in Rome, it's perfectly normal that some people arrive late, because every day there is a car accident. You can find everything possible, so every day it's a new day.
Being late is not something new for me, because in my home country also we love being late to the wedding parties. For example, if you arrange and invite the people at 8, they will come at 10 or 9. That was okay. So I love it. It was like, some people are amazed, but I was like, yeah, I'm at home. But at university, when in my home country, my professors was late, we were counting the time. 15 minutes, let's go home. But here, it's okay. We just prefer waiting and enjoying the time. And one more thing I think was amazed, something new to see. The menu was like pizza, pasta, wine, Coke, and coffee, a cafe. And I was like, wow, what is coffee doing here?
Yeah.
So also you drink in the morning just standing the coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting, because in Kazakhstan we just say we drink and eat just sitting. And I saw people in the morning in a bar just coming, ordering and drinking and going. I was like, wow.
Yeah, as I said before, yeah, exactly. You can find people drinking it standing up and then rushing away and going for the day, but then also sitting and then enjoying it without rush. This is normal. Usually a cappuccino takes more time, so I prefer having it being seated, but it depends. But it's interesting, the fact that you notice that on the menu, on the board of the menu, you find coffee. Yeah. That's not, I mean, cannot take it for granted if you go abroad. For me, it's perfectly normal, and I've never thought that it would be strange to someone.
We were talking about this. We were saying, okay, pizza, okay, we can have for lunch Coke, wine, we can choose, but cafe, can we just avoid it? But now I'm thinking, we had after dinner the tea, so it's okay to have coffee.
Yeah.
And yes, it's
Coffee
normal
or
now.
Tea, yeah. It's more or less the same habit, but with a different drink. So you already told me a little bit before. You've already answered in part to this question. But is it really Italy how you imagine it to be, apart from the negative stuff, but in the pictures, in what you could perceive from the internet about Italy, is it really reflected in the way it is in reality? So one thing is Instagram versus reality.
I didn't expect crowded people because, yes, I know Italy is the most touristic place in the world, but if you don't see it in your reality, you won't expect or imagine that amount of people in just coming to see the Trevi. And yes, a lot of people. I didn't expect, as I said, trash. I never expect seeing a lot of trash here. And the prices of flat.
Wow.
That was
interesting point.
Also, you pay for a room or for the bed, because in Kazakhstan, it's like that. We come, they say the price for a whole apartment, then you share it, divide it into the amount of person that are going to live.
Yeah.
So if it's mostly, it's 300 or 400 around euros for a whole apartment, and if you're living with your friend, you can just share it. And here it just costs 500 and 700 around for one room.
Yeah, here it's pretty expensive. There are many areas that are less, but it's basically expensive, even for Italians. Even Italians struggles to make a living here a lot, because payrolls, salaries are not enough now that the inflation with whatever the cost of life here now is. But it's very expensive. It's not, of course, as it used to be years ago, but it's very hard to make a living. But you don't have to survive. I mean, people just want to live, and then yeah, there are areas that are very expensive, and it depends. Of course, the less expensive in Italy are like the villages. No, if you go somewhere in the hills like Umbria, you'll find places very affordable. But because there's no metro, there's no town, there are villages, so life costs much less than in Rome, for example. Rome, it's expensive, and also Milan.
I've never been in Milan.
Oh, you must go there and check.
To go just to check the prices.
Almost to the end, guys. So this is also another practical question. I want to know, what suggestions would you give to someone moving here? So someone that is watching this video and thinking about, I would love to go and live in Italy. What practical things you could say to these guys?
Learn Italian from Germana. Because really it's hard not knowing Italian and talking to the people. Yes, there are a lot of people who can understand English, but it's better to know at least some phrases or in a basic level to talk, and it makes close the people. It's different when I speak in English with the Italians. They were like, oh, okay. There is a distance when you try to say something in Italian. They are so pleased, and so you must know first of all the language. I know just ciao, arrivederci. So the most thing that you should know is quanto costa.
Quanto costa. And then we have also a very interesting reel, my dear Markhabat. You can find here our reels when we show you how you can ask for price in a shop. So yeah, these videos are very useful for understanding how to communicate more than grammar or whatever. So when you travel, don't take the grammar book with you. Take just this information in mind. This is what is called fluency.
And after the language, maybe my advice is save your money until you come here, because you would like to taste every food and gelato every day. That's what I'm doing. You should save your money for food and for renting places. Even if you are coming for some days, you should have enough money. And I think that's it. To be friendly, and as I've said, don't throw your trashes. Don't ruin the beauty of Rome.
Thanks a lot for these useful tips. Thanks a lot, first of all, for being today with us. I hope you learned a lot from Markhabat. But please, before we leave this video, where people can find you, how can they connect to you?
As you do, I have an Instagram page. It's called Teacher Markhabat, and YouTube channel, but I've just started learning from Germana. I love her YouTube channel, and I'm happy to be here. Yes, it's also called Teacher Markhabat.
Yeah, I'll put all the information in the description box, guys, so for you to be able to check and see her profiles. What else, guys? Thanks, grazie a lot for being here today with us. I hope this interview was useful for you to learn a little bit about how it is like to be in Italy, what you need to know before if you decide to move here. Markhabat experience was very interesting and useful. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to connect with me this time, you can find me on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter account. I'll see you next time. Ciao!